Economists say the government's continued delay in deciding the amount of renewable fuels that must be blended with gasoline in 2014 may create problems for those seeking investors in the biofuels industry. Despite the potentially gloomy prospects, those same experts point to signs the ethanol industry may be ready to stand on its own.
At this point, it hasn't hurt it very much. If you look at how quickly or how much ethanol has produced over the past year, we're looking at an industry that is running about as strong as it ever has.
However, Hart, an assistant professor of economics, believes other, less mature biofuels will need the government to encourage use through minimum biofuel requirements set by the Renewable Fuel Standard, or RFS. Those next-generation fuels include cellulosic ethanol, which is often produced from the stalks and cobs of the corn plant. The Environmental Protection Agency announced last week it was again delaying a decision on the originally proposed 2014 RFS requirement that 18.1 billion gallons of biofuels be blended with gasoline. Of that amount, only 1.75 billion gallons, nearly 10%, are directed by the government to be cellulosic ethanol. Some ethanol proponents took the delay as a sign the EPA may be reconsidering whether to tamper with the RFS. Others argue the government should step back entirely from dictating what biofuels are supported.
But there are dozens of energy subsidies and tax credits that distort the energy marketplace and have the federal government picking winners and losers in the marketplace rather than letting these particular sources of energy succeed or fail on their own.
The RFS, first established by Congress in 2005 to help reduce carbon dioxide emissions, was designed to gradually increase the amount of biofuels blended into U.S. gasoline. By 2022, 36 billion gallons of alternative fuels are federally mandated to be produced and mixed in domestic motor fuel.
It's an important piece, but it's not that important. That the industry is, if you will, self-sufficient, that the industry is cost competitive, that the industry can play in the marketplace, even if you didn't have the RFS. But does the RFS provide a signal for future growth? It definitely provides that.
Although Hart believes the ethanol industry is strong, he says dropping crude oil prices may create problems as biofuels try to remain competitive.
The wild card there would again be, do oil prices continue their slide or not? The more they slide, the harder it is for the ethanol market to balance back out again, especially when we look at needing to have exports to balance out.
It is unclear when the EPA will make its final decision. While policymakers wrestle with the ruling, the cost of producing a gallon of ethanol remains competitive, but that margin gets tighter as the price of crude oil declines. Despite a few spikes brought on by recent trouble in the Middle East, oil prices have been on the decline for the past year, with the price falling below $75 per barrel.